Hello and welcome to our how-to video on the Reassignment Wizard. The Reassignment Wizard, also known as the Resource Reassignment Wizard, enables you to quickly reassign ownership from one role to another within a project, a milestone, an action, or a checklist item. The Reassignment Wizard can be accessed in the context of a project, a milestone, an action, or a role. And when opened, it shows you all of the roles that are involved in that context. So if you were to access it from the project, you would see all of the roles involved in that project. So that would be the project owner, milestone owners, action owners, contributors, and checklist item owners. If you were to open it at the action level, you would only see the action owner, the contributors, and checklist item owners, if any. So you're able to mass reassign owners using this tool, and by default it will reassign all the records unless you choose to specify which records you want to based on the status value. So some use cases for the reassignment wizard would include when you're reassigning all responsibility from one role to another. If the initial person has left the company or they have been assigned to another project, so you'd use the reassignment wizard. Another use case is so when you're planning projects, when you're far out and you're just planning projects, you have the option to assign an asset or a placeholder role, as you might not be sure about the project member's availability. And as you get closer to the project, that's when you can update those placeholder roles to actual active roles or users in your org. And there might be a lot of placeholder roles that you need to update. And in this case, to do a mass update, you can use the reassignment wizard. Let's have a look at that. The reassignment wizard is accessible from a number of different places, and where you access it from will vary depending on the level of project members you're trying to update on a specific record or records. So if I wanted to update the project members relating to a milestone, so that would be the milestone owner, the action owners, checklist item owners, and contributors for all of those actions. I would access it from the reassignment button on the milestone record page. For now, let's have a look at the project. So this project has a couple of milestones and actions, and one of those actions has a few checklist items. So as you'll see, there are a few placeholder roles or asset roles, and these are the project manager, front-end developer, back-end developer, and user trainer. So this is usually used when you're planning out a project and you're not sure of what resource you're going to be using, but you know their background, or the skills required for this for that task. So I've got a couple of placeholder roles that I've created, and these placeholder roles don't have a user or a contact record linked to their role record. So if I were to go into the reassignment wizard using the reassignment button here, this button has to be added to the page layout if you don't already have it. So you can update the project owner from here. There's only one project, so one project owner. That's going to be Colin. And let's say I want to update all of the milestone owners, and you'll see there's a few status values. So you can reassign them based on the status. All of my milestones and actions are in the planned stage. I haven't started working on them, so you'll see there are 4 records under planned. So you can choose to reassign owners based on their status, or just leave it as all. I'm going to say for backend, I'm going to need Chris. For front end, I'm going to need Mick. I'm going to need Colin. And I'm going to leave this one empty. We're going to access it from the milestone page. So for actions, I'm going to say, again, Chris is going to be working on the actions under that milestone. Similarly, Mick is going to be working on those actions, and Colin is going to be working on those actions. We can just click save from here, and we'll see that those changes have been made. The project owner has been updated, the milestone owners have been updated, the action owners have been updated. Now if I were to open one of these milestones up, so let's open up the milestone, we can access the reassignment wizard again. Just make sure that this button is added to the page layout. So now it's going to show me all of the roles that are involved in that specific milestone, and currently it's only user trainer. So I'm going to update that user trainer to be let's say Umar, and I'm just going to leave the actions for now, as we'll be accessing from somewhere else. So let's save for now. Similarly, if you were to, let's open up the project and go into an action. So as you'll see, the milestone owner has been updated. The action owners have not been updated for this milestone because we only updated the milestone owner. And if we go back into the action page, you'll see that there's a reassignment button that you can access. So again, to update the action owner for this specific action and any other contributors for this action or any checklist item owners under this action. The last place that you can access the reassignment wizard is from the rules tab. So currently the two remaining actions over here are the prepare training material and deliver training for the action owner user trainer. And you can choose to update all of the records, not just to a specific project, but all the records where that user is the owner. So if that user is a project owner, a milestone owner, or action owner, or checklist item owner, or contributor in a number of different projects, if you'd like to update all of those places, then you can choose to do that from the role record. So if I go back into the placeholder roles, go into user trainer, and go into the reassignment button, so you'll see that I can choose to update the project owners, the milestone owners, action owners. So there's only, if I open up the checklist item as well, you'll see that the user trainer is the item owner as well. So if I just update the action owners for now, that's going to be Umar. Save, go back here and refresh. Let's expand the milestone. So you'll see the action owners have been updated. The item owner has not been. So we can update that as well. Reassignment, checklist item owner as owner. Click save. So now both of these item owners will be updated to Umar if I refresh the page. There you go. So it really depends on what your use case is and where you're trying to update those project members and what level you're trying to update it from. That concludes the how-to video on the reassignment wizard. If you have any questions, you can reach out to us via support tickets or the email mentioned here. We have a lot of resources that you can benefit from, like our very detailed user guide. We have a lot of training videos on our website. We have a searchable knowledge base and a learning portal. That's all for today, and have a good day.